All right, so good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to start by welcoming you to this presentation about NMDVR. My name is Monique Glenn, and I'm a vocational rehabilitation counselor, and I work out of the Alamogordo office, which covers Otero and Lincoln counties. I also have with me today Lisa Jones. She's the vocational rehabilitation counselor supervisor, who is also based out of the Alamogordo office. And also assisting us today is going to be Jessica Banda, our benefits advisor for Social Security disability benefits and Ticket to Work, and she's based out of our Roswell office. Today's presentation is going to be accompanied by closed captioning for anyone that is deaf or hard of hearing. And I'd also like to request that if anyone has any questions throughout this presentation, that you please ask them in the chat box, and we'll make sure to answer any questions towards the end of the presentation. So let's go ahead and get started. So first, let's talk about what vocational rehabilitation is. Vocational rehabilitation is a state and federally funded program designed to help eligible individuals with documented disabilities find suitable employment. VR is a voluntary program and services persons with disabilities who want to work. DVR's mission is to encourage and assist the efforts of New Mexicans with disabilities to reach their goals for working and living in their communities. So our goals are to help students and people with disabilities become more independent by providing them with the tools and resources to help with the things needed to go to work in an occupation or employment goal where they can be successful. Who does DVR help? So if you are somebody with a disability that has difficulty gaining or maintaining employment, you are able and wanting to work, you are in need of assistance of vocational professionals to gain or maintain employment, or you are an employer seeking qualified participants to diversify the workplace, then DVR services might be something that you are interested in pursuing or partnering with. How does DVR help? So DVR can provide several different types of services, each one tailored to a participant's specific needs. So we'll start off by going over our pre-transition services, or as we like to refer to them as pre-ETs. So pre-ET services are designed to help with youth with disabilities between the ages of 14 and 22 be as prepared as they can be to make a successful transition from high school to whatever their goals may be after graduation. The first that we have listed here is job exploration counseling. And this is meant to assist in exploring the world of work and career choices that are available. This can include career assessments, interest in inventories, job shadowing and mentoring, informational interviews, and so on. Really anything that can provide someone with additional information about a career they may be interested in. Next, we have work-based learning experiences, and those can be paid or non-paid placements within the community, like volunteering, internships or apprenticeships, or co-ops that can provide you with hands-on learning experience in a career that one might be interested in exploring. With work-based learning experiences, DVR can in some instances provide a stipend to cover related expenses. Next, we have counseling and enrollment opportunities. For those students seeking further education or training after graduation, NMDVR can assist with exploring these options. This could include exploration of career paths, referrals to campus resources such as career services, disability services, academic support services, preparation for entrance testing, campus visits, review of entrance requirements, links to and assistance with the application for federal financial aid, and so on. We also have workplace readiness training. And this service would be for individuals interested in going directly into the workforce after graduating. And services focus on preparing the student for the workplace, including soft skills training, peer mentoring, independent living skills, accessing transportation services, customer service skills, job search assistance, applying for jobs, and interviewing skills. And then we have instruction in self-advocacy. And this focuses on helping students understand more about themselves, knowing their rights, and how to interact with the world, as well as when it's appropriate to let others know about their disabilities and how to ask for help. DVR services can be more than just pre-transition services. There are additional services that DVR can assist with after graduation. So for our graduated and adult clients, there are several areas that we can provide assistance. There's VR counseling and guidance, which is providing general support and coordination or assistance in obtaining needed services, exploring comparable benefits and ensuring participants are informed about everything they would need to know about pursuing their employment goal of choice and everything that can or will impact them. There's also job search or job development and job placement, which can include assistance with identifying job leads, filling out applications and creating resumes. And if a client is in need of extra help in identifying work that is appropriate for them, we can also provide job development and job placement, where we try to match a participant's skills with an employer's needs and create a job specifically for them. We also offer rehabilitation technology services, which is usually assistance with technology or equipment that a client needs as an accommodation to a barrier that they are encountering in school or training or on the job. Training can be the cost of a training program, books or equipment needed to participate in a training program, or even uniforms if they are required. Training services can also include, but are not limited to, disability-related skills training, apprenticeships and on-the-job training, occupational or vocational training, junior or community college, or pursuing a bachelor's or even a graduate degree. Post-employment services are for participants who have been a client before and have had their previous case closed successfully. After a case has been closed successfully, if a participant has a need that arises to help them maintain, regain, or advance in employment, there's no need for them to reapply. We can simply reopen their previous case and provide assistance as needed. We also offer benefits advisement for participants that are also recipients of Social Security disability benefits and have Ticket to Work. So at this time, I am going to turn it over to Jessica so that she can provide some additional information about benefits advisement.
Okay, so my name is Jessica Banda, and I'm going to share my screen and give you a little bit of information as far as what we do as benefits advisors. If I can get it to share. So this talks about where we're located. There are only 5 of us. In New Mexico, you got 2 up north, actually 3 up north, 1 in Santa Fe, 2 in Albuquerque, and you got 1 in Las Cruces and myself in Roswell. So we work with students that are currently receiving SSI or SSDI. And we can help them explain a little more about how the benefits are affected if they were to go to work and stuff like that. Let me pull up a different page here. So here, if they're working, they can fall under what they call the student earned income exclusion. So for this year, anytime they earn more than $19.30 per month, it's excluded. But you have to notify Social Security that they're working, and you have to let them know about this student earned income exclusion. Not very many places not very many offices will recognize it just right away, but if you provide them this information, they'll make the adjustment. So with that being said, if a student is on SSI, their SSI is not going to be affected. They'll get the full amount that they should be receiving. Okay. Now, one thing you got to remember, a student living at home with parents' income does affect the amount that they receive from SSI. So at that point, they end up calling it with deemed income. Okay, for this student earned income exclusion to work, the student has to be under the age of 22, has to be attending college in high school, 7th through 12th grade. It has to be in some kind of vocational training, at least 12 hours per week, or even a stay-at-home schooling. So that's one option there that we have. The next thing that we do provide, and here's the deeming that I was talking about. Students under the age of 18, parents are working, the student is going to be receiving a percentage of SSI. So here's a little bit more of information on the deeming part of it. And all this information is also provided in the exhibit area. One other thing that we have to remember is as soon as probably about 6 months before a student turns 18, Social Security should be mailing out information regarding them that they have to apply as an adult for Social Security benefits. So with that being said, that's why the age 18 redetermination doesn't necessarily mean that because a child receives Social Security benefits, obviously as a kid under the age of 18, that they're going to be eligible as an adult. So they have different definitions that everybody's going to have to look at. So going to the SSA.gov and you search Blue Book, it gives you the listing of all the adult listings of disability that Social Security is going to accept. And I have one more page here. And this page here will provide you an example of how working in SSI is affected. So as you can see here is an example. You have an example of an individual working 10 hours a week, earning $10.50 per hour. And this is if they were receiving 2 paychecks per month. So you have a total of $420 per month. The general income and earned income exclusion are $85 total are deducted. So it's not counted against them. So if you can see on the example, they subtract it and that leaves 335, sorry. Divide that by 2 and $167.50 is what is left. $167.50 will be what's deducted from the SSI payment, assuming that they're getting the full $794 per month.
Jessica, I'm sorry to interrupt, but we can't see the example on the share screen. It's still your previous document.
Okay, hold on. I'm paused. I don't know why I'm paused. But let me try it again.
There we go.
Okay. So the example there to your left, it's what I was talking about. Again, assuming that the individual is receiving the full SSI amount of $794, the $167.50 will be deducted from the $794, which will leave the $420 from working plus the $626.50. That gives them a total about $1,046.50 per month. Okay, and obviously, as you can see, the more money they earn, the less SSI they receive. But overall, they receive more money from both working and SSI. I know a lot of parents get worried about individuals losing their Medicaid. You do have a Medicaid, which is attached to the SSI. And as you can see on here, the income that they're looking for is $33,941 per year. So the only way they would lose a Medicaid under SSI is if they started earning more than that per year. Okay. So even with this is just an example of an individual that is not going to school and they decide just to go straight to work. This is how the process is done. Your students that are going back to, or that are still going to school and decide to work, that's when you use the student earned income exclusion. That's when that would be, so none of this would be deducted. They would still get the full amount from SSI plus whatever they earn from working. Okay, and that's all I have, Monique. So I'll stop sharing and you can go.
Thank you very much. And that's why Jessica's our benefits expert. Okay. All right, so is everyone able to see my PowerPoint?
Yes.
Fantastic. We'll go pick up right where we left off. So at this time, you might be wondering what the rehabilitation process is. So the first step is to apply for services. After we receive a referral for someone that is interested in applying for services, we reach out to them to discuss their interests, and if it's appropriate, we conduct an interview and help them with the application paperwork. The next step is eligibility determination. We might request educational diagnostics from your school or medical documentation from your healthcare provider, or if necessary, schedule you for an assessment. Once we have all the information needed to make a determination, we'll use this information to make a comprehensive eligibility determination. After being found eligible, we move on to planning your rehabilitation program and developing your individualized plan for employment, or IPE. During this planning time, we might conduct some additional skills or interest assessments to help us explore any areas of interest and identify an appropriate employment goal, taking into consideration one's disability and limitations. Once we've identified an employment goal, then we discuss and develop the services that we anticipate will be needed to achieve the employment goal and put it all together into the IPE. After the IPE is developed, we can then begin providing the services that were agreed upon until employment is gained. We can also make changes or updates to the plan and services as a participant's needs change. Once employment is obtained, we conduct frequent and routine follow-up with the participant to ensure they're transitioning into their new job well. And if they have any needs, we can help out with them as they come up. After a participant has been employed for at least 90 days and is no longer in need of any supports to maintain their job, then they are considered successfully employed and the case can be closed. I'd also like to take some time to share with you information about order of selection, which can affect how soon a participant can expect to receive services. So order of selection is a federal law that requires state vocational rehabilitation programs to set priorities for serving those with the most significant disabilities first when resources are not sufficient to serve all eligible individuals with a disability. New Mexico's priority levels are as follows. Priority 1 includes individuals with the most significant disabilities. Priority 2 includes individuals who have significant disabilities or who are presumed eligible as a Social Security disability recipient. And priority 3 includes all other individuals who are found eligible for vocational rehabilitation services, but do not meet the criteria for priorities 1 or 2. So when someone is found eligible, they're given a priority group, which is determined by the VR counselor, and it's based upon the severity of someone's disability, as well as the scope of their limitations and intensiveness of services anticipated. Some Social Security disability recipients can be placed into priority group 1 if they fit the criteria for most significant disabilities. And if a participant's limitations ever become more severe, we can always reevaluate their priority. So what happens, or how does this affect your application? So depending upon the eligibility group that you are placed into, so priority group number 1, individuals who are most significantly disabled, those individuals proceed to plan development. Individuals that are placed into priority groups 2 or 3 that are found significantly disabled or having no significant disability are deferred to a wait list and referred to alternative community resources or agencies if available. How can you apply for services? Applying for services is very easy. You can visit our website, which is linked in the virtual exhibitor tables on the Transition Fair website, or go directly to referral.dvr.nm.gov, or you can contact a rehabilitation counselor by phone. And I've included our contact information on the next slide, so you can contact myself or our supervising counselor, and we can make sure that if you're interested in applying for services or want additional information, we get you anything that you're needing. So at this time, that brings us to the end of our presentation. And if there are any questions, we definitely want to address those. So I'm going to stop presenting and we'll take a look if there's any questions in the chat, which I don't see any. Does anybody that's on the presentation have any questions that they want to ask directly? Nope. Okay. Well, if anybody has any questions, they're more than welcome to contact myself or Lisa, and we're happy to answer any questions that anybody has or help out with the application process. And I'd just like to thank everybody for attending and have a good rest of your day.